Okay, what up, guys? Happy Friday. As if it's the end of the week, as if it is the 31st of July, the last day of July. Like, where has the month gone? Where's the year gone? Incredible, incredible. How are we all doing today? Good morning, Simi. Hope you're well. As if though, seriously, guys, like today is the 31st of July. I mean, this year is just absolutely flown by. Like it's just crazy, like how quickly this year has gone. Like there's so much that has happened in this year, both politically, economically, maybe personally for you as well. For me, absolutely, but for you guys as well, maybe loads has happened as well in the year. But like literally tomorrow is the 1st of August. I mean, that is just crazy, crazy, crazy. Good morning, guys. Good morning, good morning, good morning. I see you all in the chat. Good morning. For the people just joining now, you have me today, all to your very, very, very selves, because Andre and James are not here today. So you've got just me, as as Mike says, the trading teacher. Indeed, indeed. You've got me all to yourself for today, guys. Just sort of close out the week here. Those of you just joining now, I'm sorry, I've said it a million times. Last day of July. Like, come on, how crazy? How crazy? How crazy? How crazy? Morning, morning. Okay, okay. So I wonder, first of all, in the chat, guys, before we actually begin anything, because it is the last day of the month, how is your month looking so far? Like, are you green? Are you red? Are you flat? Like, how's your month looking at the moment? I'm quite interested to see because, the summer months are usually not the best months for many traders. Of course, it always depends on your strategy and it always depends on how you trade, but it'd be interesting to see how people have performed over July. Like usually when I had my full-time school teaching job, I would probably not even bother with July. Like July was my summer holiday. It was my time off school. I'd be in another country with a wife. And, it was one of those where I didn't really need to trade. And I knew that, trading in the summer months of July and August weren't the best price action. So I'd actually just not bother trading. So it's been very weird this month now as a full-time trader trading in July. So be interesting to see how people are doing at the moment here. Morning, morning, morning to all those just joining the chat. Red, terrible red. Okay, July being very tough. Break even, red. Cross 11k payouts in 4 months this month. Took 2 max payouts for Bluetooth. Assuming you are doing very well then. Like seriously, you are doing incredibly well. I think honestly, based on what's in the chat at the moment, you are the exception because I think many people have found it hard, not great, a lot of work for break even, flat, red. Yeah, I mean, this is it, isn't it? The pattern is there. And, it's one of those where you could go on any other stream and the streamer can ask the same question. I think coming towards the end of this month, I think many traders will be red or break even at best, maybe with a few people who obviously green. But I would say it's one of those where if you are break even on the month, well done to you. Like honestly, well done to you because it's been tough. I mean, I have to say for me personally, it's one of those where I knew already that this month was going to be tough for me. Before any trading took place, before any price action played out, I knew this was going to be a tough month for me. This was my first month as a full-time full-time trader, not full-time school teacher. I left my full-time school teaching job July the 3rd, and I went full-time after that. But I knew that this month was going to be tricky because making that transition from 9 to 5 job to then full-time trading, I had a feeling that I was going to find it tricky to make the transition. And it's one of those where, Mike, you just said there, the IB hasn't been great. And I have to admit, July could have helped me out a little bit in my first full month as a full-time trader. Could have helped me out with a little bit of a better price action. But I have to be honest with myself as well, and I have to say that I've got in my way this month. There's no doubt about that. If I just show you guys, let me show you my trades out of calendar just for this month. And this month you can see here, it's not terrible. If we look at this here now, I'm minus 1.k on the month at the moment. So it's about a winning day, worth. So, it's one of those guys where if I get a winning day today, I will come out the other side and I will come out at green for the month, which will be incredible. But I'm not going to push it today just for that. If I take a red month this month, then I take a red month. And this is one of those where I am trying to be very transparent and honest with myself, with my data here, not just so I can share on social media, but I can actually see myself that I've got a fully fledged profitable business here. And for me, it's just one of those where you can see there's plenty of green days, isn't there? But for me, I've missed out on winning trades. I've overcomplicated things at times. I've not taken A+ quality setups at times as well. That feeling, that need to trade, maybe because I'm like a full-time trader now, I felt like I needed to trade a little bit more. So I think, for those of you who've had a red day or you've had a red month or a break-even month, be honest with yourself, be open with yourselves, guys, because it's going to help you massively going into the next month of August. And you know what as well? I think for me as well, it's like I scaled to up to 23 accounts this month. And I think for the first time, I've sort of felt the boundary for me, where I've this is a lot of accounts now, and I'm starting to feel a bit tense now in the trade. So I'm gonna have a think going into August whether I just scale back the accounts a little bit and just go a bit smaller going into August, because I anticipate August is, it's a summer month again. It's not as much volume in the markets, that it could be a case of where August is going to be a tricky month again. So we will see. We'll see. Just to show the positive stories here. Sumsy said, I've had my best month so far, 1K in profit, nothing crazy, but it's my first truly profitable month. Wow, that is amazing. To get that in July, your first profitable month, that is incredible. That is incredible. And you and me have talked on social media as well. And I know you've been you've been working hard on your discipline and working hard on just taking those excellent quality setups. So good for you. I think fully deserved. Whenever you have a profitable month, yeah, you need a bit of luck in trading sometimes, but I think you earn your luck and you earn your green months for sure. Very little luck, I think, when you get a green month. Morning. Those of you just joining a little bit late at the moment, you've got just me today, okay? Andre and James are not going to be here today, so you've got just me to close out the month, okay? And it's one of those now where I just showed my trades out of calendar before, and I think it's important for you guys today going into a Friday, going into last day of the month. Don't try and push it too hard today. You don't want to go into the beginning of the next month on a bit of a downer. Yeah, you don't want to go down thinking, oh, I just kind of had a really negative day on the Friday, and you take that energy with you into the first day of August, because you do take that energy with you. Yeah, we all do. So I think it's just a case of just, be sensible today, focus on those A+ quality setups, be proud with what you do today, regardless of what happens. Just going through the comments here, guys. Good morning. Got another one here, another green one here. Green on the month, but definitely slower than expected for me. Happy with my trade management though. Avoided a lot of losses. You know what? That's amazing. That's the one thing you can control, is how you manage the trade once you're in it. Because once you click that button, you've lost the control in terms of the outcome, haven't you? You can be you think about things that happen to you every single day. There's loads of things that happen to us. Someone can just be driving next to you in a car and they crash into the side of you, and that's an event. And you're not in control of events, are you? It's very hard to be in control of this. What you can be in control of is attitude, your mindset, and your trade management is very much linked to your attitude, your mindset, your need for greed, taking too much, or being happy with your base hits, all kind of links to that. And I think if you've shown excellent trade management in very tricky price action this month, you've done very well. really, really well. So well done there. What up, Zid? No, not live every day. It's I will be on the Friday streams from now on, but not just on my own. I will be on Tuesdays with Zinc, and I will be on Fridays now with Andre and James. But both of them can't make it today, but you've got just me for today. Oh, this is a good one. Hi, Dan. Do you think Nasdaq is going to rally next week? Strong bullish pose on daily. It's one of those where if you look at price action, let's have a look at price action right over the past sort of let's zoom out here and let's go to the 4 hour time here, and let's just look at the Nasdaq for the 4 hours. You can see why over the course of July how it's been tricky for us. Yeah, it's been tricky. We've not had a lot of up movement at the moment. We still got all-time highs here, which are a long way off from where we are right now. Where we actually go into next week, next month, it's a tricky one because for me, like I said before, for August, there isn't usually a lot of volume in the market in August. So the chances of us just rocketing to all-time highs, I don't know. But I'm not here to predict. I'm just gonna react to the market each and every day and take the little pieces of pie that I can actually take each and every day. But whether it's going to go up, whether it's going to go down, the beauty for us as day traders is I don't care. As long as I get some decent price action, some decent movement, especially for the initial balance, then I am happy. And the bell is in 2 minutes ago, actually now. So we're open here in the New York session at the moment. Just going through the comments here, guys. Just past an eval, pre-market. Oh, nice. What a start to the day that is. And can you show your IB25 strat? I tried backtesting the basic 0.25 entry and stop it up as a win rate 6% with IB low. Right. This is one of those where, let me just show this comment. Okay. If you, my recommendation is if you are interested in the IB25 strategy, which has been built off edgeful data, then it's one of those where, of course, backtest it. Or first of all, of course, watch my YouTube video first on it, because I break it down very, very simply, very, very clearly as to how I actually trade the IB25. Okay. And then feel free, and you should do, if you're interested in it, go and backtest it. But when you backtest it, you're going to backtest it in a very sort of mechanical way, right? And anyone who's traded for long enough will know that, yes, mechanical systems are great, but the things that make a mechanical system from, good to great to really great is that sprinkler discretion. Those decisions of when do I enter? When do I stay out? When do I stay flat? When do I maybe push it a little bit harder? All these are to do with discretion. And it's really hard to teach that because that just comes with experience of trading the strategy. Like when I first started trading the IB25, I traded it pretty mechanically. Like I traded quite mechanically because I hadn't earned my discretion yet. I didn't really know what A plus day looked like or when I should be flat. And you sort of learn that as you sort of use the strategy more and as you sort of get used to it more. But you have to stick with it for a while. Like you're one of these guys who just strategy hopping. 1 month you're trading the IB50, 1 month you're trading the IB25, the next month you're trading just gap fills. And you've got to be careful strategy hopping because you'll never have the time to put into the strategy that you need to eventually build that discretion that's going to build up your win rate and it's going to build up your profits and it's going to get more payouts for you. So, be interested with that 56% because even on a mechanical level, when I backtested the IB25, it's higher than 56%. But it depends on your risk to reward. Like, are you doing one-to-one risk to reward? Are you doing negative risk to reward? It depends on a lot of those factors as well, of course, when you're backtesting it. But that would be my advice with that. Just going through the comments, guys. Yeah, this here. Whoa. I mean, I don't know what your opinions are on this, guys. I mean, I only briefly read it yesterday, so I don't have a massive bit of knowledge into it. Nor do I really care, if I'm going to be very honest with you. But it just shows, doesn't it? I mean, just look at the South Korean stock market as well, and what's happened there in the past week. And you know what? It's just one of those where I just think it's when it comes to finance, it's just being responsible with your risk, not, you know, over leveraging and over risking, because eventually the markets will come for you. Do you know what I mean? And it's when it's happened, unfortunately, to many people who, you know, had life savings in the South Korean markets, or this guy here with his fund. I mean, it always just reminds me from a personal level. Like I said, I don't really care about the news story, but it just reminds me, just risk appropriately, risk smart. The way I kind of think about risk all the time is I just want to sleep well at night. That's literally all I want to do. I just want to sleep well at night. And if I can do that, trading, investing, anything that's to do with money for me, then I'm happy. Wow. I've just seen this comment here. I mean, yeah, look at the Max 7 at the moment. I don't know if you can see my screen here, but Apple is down 10%. Amazon is up 13% at the moment. So we are going in two completely different directions. I mean, that is absolutely crazy. I mean, look at that gap there. Oh my goodness me. The move in pre-market on Apple is incredible. And then if we go to Amazon here, wow. And this, I think this happened, was it yesterday or Wednesday as well? Like Microsoft was up and Meta was down by 10% each. I mean, just incredible how these Mag 7 are moving at the moment in completely different directions, which makes it tricky for us if we're trading NQ or we're trading, you know, ES. Makes it super tricky. I love it when all the Mag 7, which make up the majority of, you know, NQ, are all going in one direction, but when they're going in completely opposite directions like that, makes it a little bit tricky. Yeah, huge opening candle there on the open there. Oh, here we go. Here's one. So I guess we're not going for outside days. Like, well, yeah, it's tricky actually. I would say probably not at the moment. You know, not here to predict, of course, but for me at the moment, if we're looking at this since the beginning of the feature session today, 6 o'clock yesterday, we're just making higher highs at the moment. Do you know what I mean? So for us to smash through the daily VWAP and go all the way to the previous session high, it's one of those where I don't think that's looking likely. I mean, if we just go to the edgeful, what's in play here? I mean, it does say on the what's in play outside days by, well, let's check this. I'm always I'm always cautious when I'm looking at these sort of stats. You've got to make sure you look at the amount of data set as well. It's not a massive data set for me. I'll tell you what, let's go to the actual outside days reports. Let's go to that and let's just check that. So let's go outside days and let's check out for M and Q. This will be interesting. And in the past 6 months, there you go. So at the moment, we do have a bullish outside day. So it's one of those where it's good odds, but we are a long way from that at the moment. But I'll tell you what though, look at this movement back down here at the moment. This is what's made it super tricky at the moment to trade, isn't it? It's just the lack of that's what I found tricky, to be fair, this month, is seeing price action go in one direction like that. And it's kind of not been that, has it? It's kind of gone up and come back down and gone up. And it has been quite choppy. We've had these sort of movements like this, haven't we? This sort of like horseshoe sort of movements where it looks like it's going to keep going higher. And then just as the IB is about to set, we then start moving lower again. Yeah, everything except for Apple is green at the moment. But we are moving now towards this daily VWAP here at the moment. So it's going to be interesting to see how we actually react here. What up? Good morning to those just joining a little bit late. Where have you been? Market's been open for 10 minutes now, huh? But yeah, good morning to you guys. anyone just joining, I'll say for the last time, Andre James not here. Today, you've got just me today. So hopefully we can, anyone knows me, knows I trade the initial balance. So I'll be looking for entries sort of towards when the initial balance sets. Just interested actually in the chat, whether tell me what you actually trade. Like, do you trade the opening range breakout using edgeful data? Do you trade gap fills? Do you trade the initial balance? Do you trade some other report from edgeful? It'd be quite interesting to actually see what people actually trade. Because in my head, it's like, oh, everybody trades the initial balance because I trade the initial balance. Well, of course, that's not the case. It'd be quite interesting to see what's going on there. Let's have a look. Let's turn on reversal here. Okay, so we got previous session high there, and if I remember correctly, yeah, so this one is the ICT opening retracement, this blue one here. It's this one. I mean, we'll see here. I mean, what's the stats on that? Here we go. ICT opening retracement, 55%. So yeah, it's not that great, but I would say probably at the moment, the way we've actually moved down there, I would say probably the ICT opening retracement is going to be taken here. I think that's going to be filled. But it's one of those, I keep saying I would be shocked, but I feel like I say that every day where like, I'll be shocked if this happens, I'll be shocked, but the markets keep surprising me, but I would be shocked if we suddenly just start moving lower here, breaking all these lower highs that we were making previously. Especially with all the Mag 7, apart from Apple being green. I'd be shocked. But good job it is, I'm not paid to predict. I'm paid to react, which is thank goodness for that. Because if I was paid to predict these markets, I would be a very, very, very poor person. Okay, let's have a look, see what people trade here. Trade IB50, trying to stick to that. Got a little carried away this time, trying other reports. Yeah, you know what? It's one of those where I think me and Andre talked about it last Friday, where when I first joined edgeful, there were very few reports. They had reports, but there was not as many as there is now, and so you weren't quite as overwhelmed by the amount of reports. While these days now there's so many reports, it can be quite easy to get a bit overwhelmed. But I think that's where just watching other traders like myself, Zink, James, etc., all trading and seeing how we use the reports, it gives you a good starting point, doesn't it? But I would say you don't want to go too crazy with the amount of reports. But there's nothing wrong with exploring the reports, is there? And trying those out. I mean, I'm always at the moment, if you guys haven't checked out the discovery feature on edgeful, this is a really good feature for you guys just to be able to use to check out reports that are hot. If you're looking to, not necessarily just strategy hot, but you're looking to sort of optimize what you're doing. You're looking to add new confluences to your strategy. You've got to be a bit careful there, of course, but what you can do is search the asset, search the amount of months you want to look for 6 months here, and you can search like the minimum score because they've scored it based on how strong the report is. I'm going to put it as 80% and run it, and it's just going to come up with the reports that are working really well. Click on those, go and watch the videos on those reports and explore them further, and then you can sort of build out confluences, can't you, for your strategy? But you want to be careful not to do too much. I would say never, ever, ever just see a report and think the next time I'm going to go and trade that live. Go and back test it, go and try it out first, paper trade it for a little bit if you need to, before you then start kind of running into, not financial advice or anything I'm saying, but you know what I mean. It's just, but I think that's pretty good advice. But the discovery feature has been great. I've enjoyed proper kind of delving into that. I've just become such a nerd these days. Like, spend my weekends now just looking through reports, data reports, other sort of data sets that I can add to my strategy. I used to just go out and party in my 20s, and now I'm just a big nerd just checking reports on the weekend. But I have to admit, I do love it. Let's have a look at other sort of, okay, gap fills, IB, inside day, okay, IB25 and Viva. Oh, there's my man. Lost there. Only IBs. On the ICT midnight, I'm trading IB25 with IB, however, focusing on the VWAPs a lot. My backtest shows on the right side of the VWAPs, usually IB breaks 8%. Yep, I completely agree with you. I completely agree. That's what I found a lot is, And this is where just, I learned about VWAPs before I learned the IB. So I already had sort of VWAP knowledge in my head, but VWAPs, it's very, very simple to get your head around. It's one of those where let's just turn this off for a second. It's just, if you're the bottom side of the VWAP, go short. If you're the top side of the VWAP, go long. It's very simple to understand VWAP and bias direction. It doesn't take a rocket scientist, but when you combine it with the IB and you start taking IB trades where you're the right side, maybe prices above both VWAPs for longs or below both VWAPs for shorts, it just filters out some of the more rubbish trades and just improves your win rate. That's what I found anyway through my back testing and through my live trading as well, for sure. IB25 on New York session or double break in London session. Oh, that's quite cool. That's quite cool. So you trade the IB in New York and then you trade the orb in London. Okay, that's quite interesting. Trade the orb, 50 minute. Sync uses ICT retracement for 8:30 now. Not sure. Don't know actually, to be fair. Not sure. That's so interesting then. So interesting to hear all the different ways people use it. But it seems to be along the lines of IB, orb, a little bit of VWAP there. So it's, we're probably all using very sort of similar reports, I think, there for sure. Well, I said I would be surprised if we fulfill the outside day, and it looks like we're going to here at the moment. We are moving lower here at the moment. It looks like this is going to be fulfilled here. The outside days by weekday, like I said before, not a lot of data sets, in my opinion, for this, but does show 83%. And you know what? This is one of those where I saw James show yesterday in his X post about the daily bias and the screener. It really does just give you a very visual sort of direction on where to go here. And at the moment, if you're looking for longs at the moment, I don't know what you see because we are moving lower. It's only the Mag 7 being green at the moment that would be something that's bullish. But apart from that, we've sliced through the daily VWAP with strength here, like sliced through it. And we're about to fulfill the outside day start here. Anyone does know what outside day is? It's basically where, if you look here, this previous session high is the high of the New York session from the previous day. So if you look here, this is the New York high here. Okay, and then this is the New York low, where outside day is basically where we open outside the previous session high and the previous session low. So it basically starts outside. And then the idea is that the outside day start is we have a certain percentage that we're going to retrace at some point in the day back to the previous session high, if we're above it, or if we're closing outside below the previous session low, we're tracing it back to the previous session low. But it looks like we're going to do this. I thought, honestly, we were just going to move higher here. I honestly thought with these higher highs here, we were just going to move higher. We haven't. Like I said, good job I don't get paid to predict. More than 80% of the time we retest the 8:30 candle open. We'll see how we react there. 8:30 candle open. 8:30 candle open is here, right? If I'm correct in saying that. 8:30 candle open. That's what you mean, right? Give me a yes or no in the chat if that's what you mean, but we have smashed through that. Absolutely smashed through that here. But look at this here. Like outside day start is going to be filled. And we are currently breaking those pre-market higher highs here at the moment, smashing through it. We'll see how the 5-minute candle closes here, but I should not say I would be very surprised because every time I say it, it's the opposite, but I would be very surprised if we don't go and take previous session high. We are now, how many? About 10 points away now on M and Q. Yeah, the discovery option on edgeful is the best. It really is. It really is. When I first joined, not when I first joined, when I first got a membership with edgeful, I just remember spending hours going through reports, looking through reports of things that I could create a strategy from. And it just took me ages, even with the less reports that there was in those days. But the discovery feature it just makes things so much easier. I just think of the edgeful algo optimizer as well now. Like when I first started using the edgeful algos, it was you did it through a spreadsheet. And Andrew is very good in his YouTube videos showing how you kind of optimize your algo on the spreadsheet, but it was a spreadsheet and it was incredibly, I mean, would I say I wouldn't say it was massively exciting, but I kind of loved the idea of optimizing the algo. But these days now with the optimizer, it's just great. It just does it in seconds for you. It's just brilliant how things these days are just being made more convenient now. We have the gap fill as well. We do indeed, sir. We do indeed. Let's have a look. Yeah. We do indeed. And I need to get used to, I need to get, because I'm using the gap fill by session, but there is, of course, now the gap fill 2.0 as well. It shows the retracements as well here. But I do think we're going to go and fill the gap here. I do think we're going to go and fill the gap. Let's have a look at the gap fill report though. Let's have a look at that. So if we go to gap fill, and if we do here, let's customize it. And we've already filled 75% of it, to be fair. What's the size? That's the size. I mean, it's only 54% of the gap fill, but let's have a look at the size of it, because I do like to look at the size as well. The size. Anyone know the size of the gap fill? Throw it in the chat if you see the size of the gap fill. I think the gap fill is. I think it is 1.21%. Someone tell me if I'm wrong there. But I think it's 1.21%. So if we go here, 1.21%, and we go to, go by size, quite low when you're looking at the size. But that's just the way the markets are at the moment. It's just the way the markets are. They're just moving crazy. I mean, already now, the size of the IB at the moment is 1.4%. We are already 400 points. The size of the IB we're barely 20 minutes in at the moment. 20 minutes in. I mean, come on. That is a huge size. Like, is there anything in the news that's moving this at the moment for this sort of size? It's just massive. It's just massive. Absolutely massive. Let's have a look at the news at the moment. Anyone tell me in the chat if there's any sort of because there's no sort of news events I think happening today. I think it's just a big move lower here. Yeah, don't see anything. Okay. Let me just bring this up here. Here we go. So there is this news story just here at the moment. This is the only thing I can see on Financial Juice, and this was, when was this? What time was this? 17:22. So my local time. So this was 9:20. And US Treasury has informed banks that it may intervene in the yen market on Friday. So possibly. That's the only thing I can find though. Literally the only thing. So yeah, can't take the IB short with this range. Indexes taking outside day. Yeah, it's tricky. It's tricky. It's one of those where I bought very recently. I bought 6 top 1 futures 25k Ignite accounts. I found them so hard to trade this month because of the fact that the moves are so big. Like for a 25k account, they have what, $1,000 worth of drawdown, and yet with one micro, like my max risk sometimes or my minimum risk is $300, $500 per trade. It's like I lose that trade, I will lose half of my drawdown for my instant funded 25k accounts. It's just one of those where it's so difficult to trade those sort of size accounts at the moment. Like really tricky. Not done well with with the 25Ks all this month. Just found it really hard, but just with the size of these IB ranges. And it's one of those where you have to, like, I have to back test sometimes, and I have to go and see, just remind myself that what was the normal size of the IB ranges, you know? And it's one of those. Yeah, over 400 points range, bro. I mean, we're not even finished yet. It could go lower. We're not even half an hour into the session yet. Not even half an hour. Like, I can't remember the last time we had. Like for now, right? Let's have a look. See, so if I took a short here now with my usual risk, if I was going to do that for my usual risk at IV25, and I wanted to do one contract, $431, and this is what I'm talking about. This is what I'm talking about. And even if you do, you know, 1-to-1 risk to reward, it's still 220 points at the moment. We're well away from the IB setting at the moment, well away from it, and yet still it's happening. So I don't know. It's one of those where the only eval accounts I've got are my traders launch evals. They're the only, anyone knows me knows I'm a big instant funded guy, but for me, like on days like this, maybe trade evals, that would be about it, I think, but maybe not at all, because I'm just thinking just mental capital all the time. Because for me, like eval, you know, losing on evals, it affects my mental capital. You know, so I am not one of these guys who is, oh, you know, blow through as many evals as I can to eventually get funded because I don't want to waste any time. I'm not about that. Do I trade evals super small? No. Okay, I increase the risk on my evals compared to my funded accounts, but I'm not here to blow through and get loads of prop firm fees every single month. Like, for me, it's a business. It's a business, you know. Oh, good question. By the way, how much can you make? How much you made in your best month from IB25? February. February this year was my best by a mile. Yeah. In terms of payouts, $20,000 in payouts. It was my best month by a mile. Like, I've made just over $30,000 in payouts this year. Most of it was in February. But it's one of those where since February, I've kind of, especially in June, July, sort of been getting in my own way a little bit. Not my best execution the last sort of month or so. So like I was saying at the beginning of the streams, it's one of those where I've been very honest with myself and just got to get better in terms of taking those A+ setups. But yeah, $20,000 in February was the best. But I will add that to that though. Those were all instant funded accounts, and they were running since November, December. So it's not like I just bought accounts at the beginning of February and boom, $20,000 in pairs. Not. I'm not going to spin that to you because that's just not what happened, you know, at all. And it's not realistic. You know, all these guys you see, you know, who are going, oh, I made this much money in 2 weeks and stuff. You'd be so surprised how much money they're spending on prop firm fees. Just crazy. Not for me. I'm I'm more business orientated. For me, like spending $10,000 to make $11,000 in payouts, it's a lot of stress to get that. Top One Future showed their max pay for 25K converted from 1,500 to 1,000. In terms of their payouts, I think that was a while ago. They made that change a long time ago, I think. If the first hour somehow turns green, then a long over VWAP would be interesting. I agree, but that would be interesting. I mean, we have taken that previous session high, so it wouldn't be absolutely crazy for us to start moving higher here in this direction. If it does start doing that, perhaps IB75 could be looking for some entries there. Maybe it's just the size of the range today for me. So I want to see first if this range gets any bigger. I think that's it. That's a key thing for me first here. Like I said, last day of the month, Friday. I don't want to go doing something stupid today, losing too much that I should be. Just sets you up just such to be a bad mood going into the weekend. The amount of times I've done that before. Oh, Jack, what up, May? Fellow Welsh B. Yeah, good to see. Good to see. What's your thoughts on UA for young families? Awesome, mate. Yeah, what do I say? You know, not on the edgeful stream to promote UA, but UA's super safe. Like, the best thing for me, what I love the most about the UA, and it sounds so simple, is I can just literally just leave my laptop in Starbucks, leave my headphones on the top of my laptop, go to the toilet for 2 hours, come back, everything will still be there. Like, just no issues whatsoever. Like, it's just so safe here. You know, everyone's really polite. You have to be. Just makes it a very pleasant place to live. And it's sunshine 365 days of the year. You know, weird for a ginger guy to be so excited about the sun, but yeah. Where's everyone from, by the way? Where actually is everyone from? I think I asked this a while ago on Edgeful Stream, but I am very interested to see where everyone's from. We got Jack, who's from Wales, like me. I think I was very surprised last time. It'd be interesting because I know we got new people on the stream as well. Where are you guys tuning in from today? What country? What continent? Ohio, Florida. We got the Americans here. Fantastic. Florida. Yeah, and Jack, it's one of those, Jack, if you are thinking about moving to the UA, it's just I would say you wanna make sure you've got a job that pays $5 to $10 per month, plus the benefits on top of that to live a half decent life here. Like, you want all the benefits included. You know, a lot of companies will do like housing and things like that as well. Florida, India, Devon. Oh, we got British in the chat. Devon, London, Cape Town, Netherlands. Ah, you're from the Netherlands. Oh, that's so cool. Also lived in Australia and Spain for basically my whole life. Oh, wow. You've lived a very interesting life. Copenhagen. From Ireland, living in Thailand. Oh, are you? That's cool. That's cool. Whereabouts in Thailand are you living, boss? NJ, that's a little east of Wales. NJ, what's NJ? I don't know what NJ is. Aussie, Israel, Florida, Austin, South Africa, India. Come to well, you know, I possibly maybe going to Sri Lanka soon. So I'll be close to India. Sydney, Tulsa. Whenever I think of Tulsa, I just think of that episode from Friends. Probably all people living in Tulsa be like, oh, it's not that bad of a place to live. But I just think of that episode in Friends all the time. When I don't know if you guys remember that one where Chandler's sent there to work and like he just hates it there and stuff. But I'm sure it's a lovely place. Houston, East Tennessee, Killer County, USA. Clouty trades in the chat. Where's Clouty? I know Clouty from X. Don't see him in the chat at all. Houston, East Tennessee, Dubai. Oh, you're in Dubai. Oh, that's so cool. You're just down the road from me. Oh, another one in Bangkok as well, New Jersey. Joey, what's up, my main man? What's up? New Jersey. Oh, Koh Tao. Oh, you're in Koh Tao, Ross. That's awesome. That's like I've been there before, once, twice, but that's like a very small island, isn't it? Very, very small island. Like, it doesn't have like that many like mainstream roads there. It's quite off the off the grid, right? If I remember correctly. Maybe it's a bit different these days now. It was a while ago since I went there. France. Sorry, we're a little self-centered. Jamie just not at all, not at all. UK here. Can I just say Dubai, love Dubai, but boy, it's boring in the summer. Yeah, it's hot here in the summer. It's hot. Oh, right. Just back to the charts here. We filled the gap at last. So we filled the gap. We are now, guys, we are now 500 points for the IB at the moment. The IB is now 1.7%. I mean, can anyone in the chat want to find out the last time we had a IB of 500 points after just half an hour? Like, what? Just take care today, guys, with this sort of range. Literally, what I said I didn't think would happen has happened. And we have broken those higher highs in pre-market, and we are just moving lower with pace here at the moment. Like, this is incredible. Absolutely incredible. We missed the gap by 2 ticks down. Zoom in on it. No, it's filled. No, the yellow box shows me it's filled. No. Let me check gap fill. Yeah, it's filled. Done. The gap fill indicator, the old traditional one, which I like. Good old gap fill by session. That one has filled. Let's have a look at what's in play at the moment. There you go. Not a lot. I mean, I'm looking at what's in play on MNQ. Let's have a look at MES and MYM as well, just in case you guys are trading those as well. Yeah, previous day's range by weekday, previous day's range. So we still got previous day's range on ES and MYM as well. So that's the bias for long. I mean, difficult to see as going. Let's have a look at ES as well. I mean, ES 74 points on ES at the moment. Wow. Well, 70, yeah. I literally read your mind, my main man. Read your mind. Yeah, looking at ES now. That 74 points. I remember when, like, it used to, when the like the orb for ES, I mean, it used to be like what, 10 points? This is crazy. What was the orb today for ES? What was it? That's 945. So what was it? If I'm correct in saying 35 points, those trading the orb. I don't really trade the orb these days, but that's incredible. Absolutely incredible. I mean, looking as well there on ES, we may actually as well go and take previous session low as well here. I mean, I give up now trying to say what I expect because, yeah. Five-minute orb did its job. Is that the double break start with the 5-minute orb? Jeez, we are 600 points now. 600 points. Jeez. Clouty Trades. There you are, my main man. What up? A fellow IB25 trader. There you go. Found you. I was just looking. Someone mentioned you in the chat before, but I couldn't find you at all. What up, mate? I wasn't being rude, I promise. Crazy move here. Just crazy. POC taken, and I'm out now. Oh, we buy house. What trade did you take? What trade did you take there? we go. It was Monday. Monday was the last time we had 500 points straight down. What was the range on Monday? Let's have a look on Monday. Can't remember now. I think I was going to say I didn't manage to get a trade entry on Monday. What was it on Monday? What was the total? Let's have a look. So on Monday, yeah, look at that. 541 points on Monday. But that was after the IB set. You got to remember, we got 20 minutes to go here still. Still have 20 minutes to go. Yeah, this was one of those. If I just go through, let me just go through some of my trades for the week on, hold on, let me just refresh. So basically, Monday was a no trade day for me. It just absolutely tanked on Monday. Absolutely tanked. Just bear with me a second. Here we go. 623 points at the moment. Now, my trade yesterday, if I go through what I did yesterday. So yesterday, I was not in NQ. I didn't get the entry there. So I went to ES. And with ES, what I did yesterday was literally, if any of you on stream with me last Friday, you will have seen me in a trade where it literally went a point to my TP and then it just reversed on me. And it was one of those again where I think I was in on this candle here and it went again. I think it was, okay, a couple of points there away from my TP because I had my profit at the IB high, but I just remembered Friday stream and I just thought, no, I'm not doing this again. And I cut it, I think around about here for a scalp. So that on Thursday, it was just a nice sort of scalp there on Thursday on ES. I keep saying I'm not going to trade ES, but took advantage of a little scalp there yesterday on ES. And then this one, oh my goodness me, this one, I had to go for a walk. I mean, look at this. So I was looking for an entry here at the IB25. I had my limit order set. I was good to go, thinking, yep, going to get my win today. And then look at that. It was literally how much? It was a couple of ticks. Like just within, I mean, it's one of those where that, because once that did that, then we did this. Straight to TP in 10 minutes. So it's one of those where I think it was, coming off a tricky month. It was one of those where I think usually I would have generally been okay, but I'm human and I've had a tricky month and it would have been nice to get a win on this day. And it missed my entry, my beautiful IB25 entry, and just went against me. And so I missed a nice win there. And then this one on Tuesday, this was the only other trade. I took live on the edgeful stream on Tuesday. And for this one here, I entered, where did I enter? I entered here. For me here, someone asked before, what is my A+ setup? Well, this is my A+ setup. For me, this is it, where we are the right side of both the VWAPs, no closures below any of the VWAPs whatsoever. And then I entered my limit order here, looking for just a little move lower. The edgeful stats weren't great. They weren't great for this day, to be honest. But as soon as I entered, it just then pretty much went against me, and I got out around about the IB50 for a cut loss. So it was a well-managed loss. It was an A+ setup for me, but it just didn't work on that day. That's trading. It's just going to happen. You know what I mean? So that's really been my trading this week. Nothing crazy or exciting, really, unfortunately. It's been a tricky month, like I said at the beginning of the stream. But it's looking like July will be my first, across my platform accounts, it's going to be my first red month of the year. Not by much. It's like one loss's worth of loss for the month. So it's only like a marginal loss, but it's going to turn red on my beautifully green Trade Zeller calendar, unfortunately. But yeah. Let me go through the comments here. Market open volume indicator on edgeful is right about today's on. Yeah, absolutely. from 50% of IB on the, oh, nice. So We Buy House, you entered around about the IB 50 then at the time. Yeah, you've had zero drawdown there basically. I mean, so that's a great trade. Yeah, exactly. It's a small line. Oh, that's Code Tower, small line, and there's like one busy pub overall, just chill. Oh, it's good to hear Code Tower is still a chill place, to be fair, because I know tourism is sort of getting bigger and bigger and bigger every year in Thailand, but I thought Code Tower may get busy as well, but that's nice to hear. We're approaching this week's VWAP. Oh, well, let's have a look. If we go to the edgeful VWAP suite, and let's turn on. I don't usually turn on, in all honesty, I don't turn on the, it's going to look for me here. I don't turn on the weekly one. I do like, these are my settings. I do like the open, high, low, close for my VWAPs because I've just always done it like that. I was taught to have them the same like that. And there we go. That's oh, let's change the weekly one here. Let's change it. What should we change it to? Let's change it to a light blue. There we go. Let's do that. Yeah, it'd be interesting to see here how we go down there. Well, that's a good question. You speak about discretion. Can you give us 5 reasons you would skip an IB25 trade if the market provides an entry? I really love the idea of your strategy. I just can't get it to work for me yet. Yeah, it's, you know what, discretion is incredibly, incredibly hard, incredibly tough. I think for me, 5 reasons. I'd say, let me give you as many reasons as I can possibly think of here. One reason is the VWAPs are too high. So say if the VWAP was here, for example, and it's above the IB50, for me, entering at the IB25, that VWAP is just too far away because the VWAP is my invalidation level. So if I'm using that as my invalidation level, that's very close to my full stop loss. I'm trading a negative R strategy, so I don't want to take full stops. That's just too high for me as an invalidation level. So that's one thing. It's just the VWAP. I'm looking for the VWAP to be sort of the right side of the IB50. So for shorts, I'm looking for it to be below. For now, the way it's looking now, that's good. I like where the VWAPs are. Number 2, size of range. Today, the IB is a whopping 600 points. For me, that's too much. For 50K prop firm account or 25K prop firm account, that's way too much. You know, for me right now, for my strategy, if I was going to place a trade on my 50K funded with this sort of risk, I'm going to have to do it. Let's have a look. So if we go here and I just do one micro, $645 risk. So I'm going to have to risk on my 25K accounts more than half of my drawdown on one trade. On my instant funded accounts, I'm not going to do that. So for me, that's another reason I look at the range. I also look as well if we've taken a previous session high or low. When we've taken a previous session high or low, usually price sort of reacts. It'd be interesting to see now if price does react because we've taken the previous session high. Usually it's sort of, once it takes that, it sort of reacts in some way. So for me, I would be cautious if price has just taken a previous session high or low, and then I get my entry. So I would be cautious with that. If we're not the right side of the VWAPs, as I said earlier in the stream, I want to be for shorts below the VWAPs, above for longs. If I'm pinched between the 2 VWAPs, I'm cautious. You know, maybe lower risk, maybe I just don't trade at all. And trying to think of other reasons I would stay out. I think I've given out 3 or 4 there, I think, off the top of my head. There was one more as well, but I've lost the train of thoughts. But hopefully that sort of helps a little bit. I find for trading the IB25, what makes it a profitable strategy is your ability to be able to walk away when it doesn't present, or walk away when, I remember what was the other one. This is actually the most important one. If price is doing this through the VWAPs, that's like, no way am I getting involved in that. There's no edge whatsoever. But that's the edge with the IB25 is picking your A+ setups, walking away. I've not done that well this month. Be honest with you, I've not done that well at all. I'll do better in August, but I have dampened my own edge this month by taking suboptimal entries, maybe splitting, trading between too many assets. It doesn't work for me personally. I know Clout using the chat He's you know, he trades ES and he's quite good at switching between the two. I'm not. You got to know, you know, what your strengths and your weaknesses. And for me, like I'm very systematic person. I like to focus on one thing and become a master with it. And for me, NQ works for me. So I think going into August, I need to also focus on trading just one asset as well. If you're trading today, trade like 1M in Q. I showed you what 1M in Q does at the moment. It's crazy. 1 micro at the moment, if you're trading a wider stop, is 600 points with a wider stop. 300 points if you're going to do a tighter stop. Ooh-wee. Trying to get through all the comments, guys. How do you filter with VWAP? I remember you mentioned that you don't like a particular trade because VWAP was above mid-level. Did I answer that? I think I've answered that. Yes, sir. Zero drawdown. Yes, sir. Good for you. Good for you. Nothing more beautiful than a trade with zero drawdown. Top job. What a great way to finish a week as well. What criteria do you use to trade IB75? That's a very good question. The IB75 for June, it was the most profitable setup for me in June. And I think for me, it's say if price now breaks through with strength. It breaks through a lot of strength. Like we don't just go up, you know, we don't just go up a little bit like this and we grind, suddenly we come back low and grind a bit higher. No, I'm talking like with strength, and say we close at 1030 in this range here, okay, between the IB75 and the IB100. That's where I would be thinking, well, how did the edgeful stats actually change here? And if you go to the, I've got all my templates set up here, and if I go to IB close, IB75 to IB100. If you guys want to know how to do that, I've got it set up as bookmarks, but you can do it yourself. Just initial balance breakout, buy rejection, customize, and then the IB ending zone. And it's 75% to 100% for that sort of section at the top here. And then you can see here for this particular trade, what is it? IB high has formed first here. So the chance of us breaking the IB high is now 66%. So the data flips completely. While if we customize it just based on, you know, just normal sort of settings, then look at that. It's only 35% that will actually break the IB high. So that's where using the edgeful data helps. So I'm using the edgeful data. I'm using the strong breakthrough VWAP. So this is how I'm combining VWAP with edgeful data. And then what I would probably do is I would look for a little retracement back to the IB75 and then capture the long up towards the IB high. That's how I would trade the IB75. I found for me personally, these sort of slow grinding days like this, I don't do as well with the IB75 of those. I like to see strength through the VWAP for the IB75 trade. So I hope that answers your question there. Did you start trading this systematically and then these things came to light after a while of being around break even, allowing you to start profiting? Or well, for me, you know what? There's some truth to that. I started trading this system systematically, and I got a lot of my payouts from trading the system systematically, because in those months, the systematic part of the edge was really profitable. Like you're talking January, February, a little bit into March, those months at the beginning of the year, just systematically speaking, it was really profitable. And this is one of those where I think if you're just starting out or if you're not profitable yet, and me and Andrew were talking about this last Friday, trading the system systematically is probably the best way for you to start. Like, you know, if you're just, we've got the IB set now, guys, here at the moment. Sorry to just, I'll come back to your comment in a second. But the IB now is 646 points. Anyone in the chat like to tell me the last time the IB was bigger than that? I don't know. It's 2.3% at the moment. So this IB is huge. So, I mean, if you were trading the IB25 and you were happy to put on the big risk, or maybe you're trading eval or whatever, not financial advice to do that, of course, but you may want to do maybe like 1-to-1. You may want to do negative risk to reward, however you kind of want to do it. Up to you. But that's a potential entry there. Towards the downside, maybe trading into the IB low and the weekly VWAP, or you may be, I know Zinc may be looking for, I think for Zinc, it'll probably be too big, the range as well, but he'd be probably looking for IB 50. He loves a little 2-to-1 risk reward these days. From the IB, he's been very strict with the IB 50 these days at the moment with the current market conditions. He may be looking for something like that, but even then for Zinc, I mean, what is one for him? $321 risk? I don't think he's going to take that. Unless it's an email, maybe. Who knows? So there's potential entries here at the moment. But we have closed within, and this comes back to that edgeful report before, we have closed in this quadrant here of the IB. And if we go to edgeful and we look at IB, we customize it, the ending zone 0 to 24%, when the IB high forms first, and there you go, 87% chance in the past 6 months that we're going to break the IB low. I like to zoom it out a little bit on these stats as well, just give a little bit more data. And it's even better. In the past year, 90% of the time, we go and break the IB low here. So this for me right now, anyone who's asking me before about an A+ setup, this would be an A+ setup. If the range wasn't so big. If I was trading 150K accounts, maybe I'd be interested in this. I'm not, unfortunately. So yeah, one of those. But anyway, as I was saying before to this comment, Ochi just highlighted, you can be profitable trading the system, in my opinion. You obviously have to backtest yourself, not financial advice, of course, but you know, when the IB high forms first, IB low forms second, looking for trades towards the IB low, you're going to be right more than wrong. And it's not my opinion. That's not my opinion. That is edgeful data. Like if we just go to the normal report here, when the IB high forms first and the IB low forms second, we have a 68% chance we're going to break the IB low. The stats are there. That's what I built my IB25 strategy off in the first place, being inspired by Zinc, using the edgeful data, and it's all built from that. So trading it systematically is a good way to start. And then once you trade it more and you start seeing the strategy play out more, you'll maybe take a loss one day, like, price took the previous session high there and it just bounced against me aggressively. Okay, maybe I can look back into that. Well, how much more times that happened in the past? Going back tests, spend your weekends looking into it, and then you start just building your own conferences and stuff. You want to be careful though, not too many conferences. I've been guilty of that as well. When we close at the 50, do you wait for the 25 before entry? For me, yes. Yeah, for me, yes. I don't like trip. I know Zinc likes the IB50. I like to wait a little bit more to see where price is going to go. What a lovely comment. I just want to say to you, you've done a wonderful job of taking lead of the stream though. Thank you. I really appreciate that. Will you enter late today? No, sir. I will be, as soon as the stream is done today, I will be done. It's a Friday. And for me, it's what time is it now? My local time. It's 6:30 in the evening for me now. It's Friday evening. I'm gonna go and maybe go to the beach or go for a walk in the sunshine in the evening now that the temperatures are cooled here in Abu Dhabi. So I will be on the charts. We'll be chilling going into the weekend. Don't want to do anything stupid on a Friday afternoon. Done it before, so I won't do it again. June the 25th was the last time we got an IB size bigger than this. Yeah, crazy 646 points. We have now hit the IB 25, guys. We've now hit it. Price definitely moving lower now, moving slower now that we've exhausted the move out quite a lot here. Hi, full-time trader. Hello. And what about if the IB closes below 50%, but then reverses immediately to the 75% after the IB form? Do you still take the trade? That's a tricky one because the edgeful data would suggest no in terms of going for the IB 75. I would want to see if price close, say here, I would want to see what that next 5-minute candle is. Is it strong? Is it not? Like, that's what I'd want to see. That's where discretion comes in. When you're trading VWAP, you do trade with a bit of discretion. Can you filter IB by size? Should be. Let's have a look. By size, there you go. Customize IB size. Select the IB size to filter for this one. Show. Here we go. So let's have a look. So the IB size. Why is the IB size today? Oh my god! Look how much I'm having to zoom down here today. So what was it? It was 2.3%, wasn't it? I think something like that, wasn't it? Great, crazy size. There you go. So when you filter by size, it's just looking at the amount of breaks. And I've seen some people get confused with using this report versus the IB by rejection report. The IB by rejection is a chance of we're trading towards the IB low, IB high. But when you're looking at this report, this is just looking how many times is it going to break. Like, you know, for the double break, it may break one side and then break the other. So you got to be careful of that. But for today, for days like today, even with I mean, this is like, can we? Well, over 9% here. This over 0.1%. I mean, geez, like we're well past that, aren't we? 80% chance that we're only going to get a single break. So it's actually higher than these one, than the 0.2 to 0.4. 80% single break. So, you know, based on that, I would be very shocked if we go and break the IB low and then break the IB high. There's still a 20% chance that that's going to happen. Still 20%. I mean, I have two trades this month where I had a 91% chance of winning in the past year on a setup and it lost. Yeah, you've got to expect the unexpected in you. That's why we have stops in place in trading. Just think of that 10th of July Trump candle. See, I can still remember the date. Still remember the date of that trade because it sits so horribly in my mind. What's that? Dan's living in the future, guys. What do you mean by that? What kind of future is that? How many points is an ideal range for you? For me, maybe a nice like 200-point IB range, like would be nice, something like that. Maybe that means 600 points. I mean, come on, like very hard to trade with the size of prop firm accounts that I'm trading. Our Fridays are weekend in Abu Dhabi. Fridays are half day. So when I was a school teacher, we finished at 11:30 a.m. And for like government workers, they finish around about 11 a.m., 12 p.m. So it's a half day on a Friday. So that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. Temperature is not good for a walk, Mr. Dan. Yeah. But get the tank top on, get the shorts on, get the flip flops on. Fine. All about exercise, movement. Would you trade MES? It's moving like MEQ right now, just with a smaller range. No, not today. No. Dan, are you waiting for the 50% before execution? What do you think? I don't usually. For me, this is just for me, I like to enter the IB25, where I'm both sides of the VWAP. My VWAP brain is saying, if we go to the IB50 and we smash through it like this, that's telling me, oh, we're smashing through here, there's a good chance we're going to go higher. So that's just for me and my VWAP brain. That's why the IB50 trades I struggle with for me personally, because usually a lot of the times, like, yeah, for me, in my opinion anyway. Sorry, Dan, why did you say it's not an A+ trade? Well, this one today, you mean? Not sure which trade you mean there. No, sir. No, not taking an IB trade. You know what? If you're happy to put on big size here, for me, this is not a bad trade. Not financial advice, but this is what I would consider a good IB25 setup for me. But for me, it's just the IB. The range is too big. It's too big for me. Will you take the IB25 today or IB today? Probably not. Probably not. If we reject this VWAP, I might take it in ES. Well, let's have a look at ES then. What are you looking at there? Yeah, got to bounce off the weekly VWAP there on MES. So just be a little bit cautious there. MES definitely weaker than MNQ for sure. But yeah, I'll bounce off the V up there. Yeah, not a terrible entry. I like the IB trades because you can build a profitable system not only to make money in prop firms but also a cash account. Agreed. For me, my long-term goals, I want to be able to trade just a cash account. Like that's what I want to do. I want to be. There's a guy called Trader Mike on X, right? And he trades just a cash account. Very good trader, and he's trading a massive cash account. He doesn't need prop firms because he's trading big money and he's making big money. Same strategy as what he's doing maybe with smaller cash, but he's just trading his same strategy just with bigger capital. He's compounding his growth month over month over month. And I think that's the long-term goal for me, is trading live. And that's where one of the people who say, oh, I don't want to trade live with prop firms. Why not? Like for me, I am one of the, people may not agree with me, but trading live through a prop firm is going to help prepare you for trading live with your own cash account. And it's daily payouts as well with the prop firms. But yeah, the IB is great there for building a profitable strategy. But it's not profitable all the time, and that's where you just got to be careful of your risk management and just protect the downside. Don't lose your cool when the tricky months come, like this month. You were saying the IB was closed, but there was still 5 minutes left. What was it? Well, it's closed now. What strategies did you trade before IB25? So basically, I traded a bit of the orb, the opening range breakout, and I would trade like bounces off the VWAP, the right side of both VWAPs. So similar to what I'm doing now, but I was finding with my data that I was losing all my trades or many of my trades in the first half hour of the New York session. So trading the IB sort of solved that problem for me, and it improved my results as a result. So it's not really the range size, but the risk that is keeping you out the trade. If you had a bigger account size or able to reduce risk, would you have taken the trade? Yes, I would have. I would have been in this trade, I think. I would have been in this trade, for sure. But it is such a big move lower. You're always going to get a bit of a snapback at some point here. But I think so, yeah. There's just a bigger range today. This month is considered really bad for IB, right? When do you think? Well, it's one of those where some people have traded the IB and have been profitable this month. We asked people on stream at the beginning, who is profitable, who is not. And there's many people as well who have been green. It all comes down to you as a trader. I would have a green month this month if I didn't get in my own way. Like I can blame Trump, and it's a lot more exciting to blame Trump and blame the markets and blame the moon and blame whatever. But for me, I got in my own way this month. That's just, I'm honest with myself. Just as I said before, just trading too many assets, just taking suboptimal entries, not being patient, full-time trader, I need to trade every day, and I've got my own way. So it's just a case of, I think if it's not worked for you this month, you've got to reflect honestly. Why? Is there anything you could have done differently? Is there anything you're going to do differently next month? This weekend now is the perfect time to relax, chill, digest a tricky month, and come back with a solid game plan going into August. That's a very good question. Why do you enter with a limit order instead of waiting for the candle to close? Simply for calmness. It is as simple as that. I'd love to give you some fancy reason for it. There isn't a fancy reason. For me, I have found calmness in my trading levels with limit orders. Because for me, it's one less decision I need to make. For me, I found my best trading is when I make less decisions. So I don't want to decide what level I'm entering on. I want it to be decided for me. And that's where just trading a level works for me. Now, some people may be better off doing that. If you're going to trade VWAP, you don't choose a level, you wait for the bounce or you wait for the candle to close, and that's fine as well. And you can systematize that as well. But I just feel my heart rate goes up when I'm doing that sort of thing. And for me, just trading a level just works for me. It just works for me. So that's why. There's no fancy reason why. But although I have discretion in my strategy, I do like systematic sort of entries for sure. You're asking for it, trying to get continuation lower after breaking previous daily high and filling the gap. Yeah, it's one of those where the only thing I think that maybe doesn't make this an A+ setup today is, as you said there, that's a very, very good point, David, is that we have taken previous session. I did mention that earlier when I talked through reasons why I may stay out of the trade. If I just turn back on the gap fill indicator, we did fill the gap here. We have just taken previous session high. So usually we do get some sort of a bounce when those two things happen. Usually, not all the times, but usually. So that's a very good point. That's a very, very good point there. And would this be an A++ setup? Maybe not, because of those confluences as well, for sure. So that's a very good point. Yeah, that's a good question. It's one of those where, like, if you listen to Zinc speak about the data, he's actually very like cautious when you've got like a 90% stat or a 95% stat or something like that, because when the stat is so high, the chances of it, rebalancing itself, probably it's going to happen at some point, isn't it? So it's one of those where it's up to you how you use the edgeful data. For me, the way I use edgeful data is I've got my strategy, I've got my entry model, I've got my exit model, and I use edgeful to give me confidence in my entry, to give me confidence in where price is going. I did build my strategy off the edgeful data, but I sort of use it discretionarily, if that's even a word. Oh, where's the music gone? It's weird without music. Let's turn back on the music. There we go. So yeah, it's all personal. I'd say it's personal sort of preference there with that. But I think if you're trading the right side of the edgeful data, you're going to be right more than you're wrong, aren't you? Just, that's not opinion. It's edgeful data. Dan, do you immediately flip to opposite session, same session as soon as you lose trade? For me, I've been mostly taking one trade a day. But you know what? I'm always looking to optimize what I do, looking to not change my strategy. Like, I'm not interested in strategy hopping. I like my strategy, but I'm always looking in ways to tweak the trade management, the risk parameters, the amount of trades. I'm always playing around with it. I don't just rush into it and trade it in the live market or prop firm environment. But it's something I've been looking at for sure. Not at the moment massively, but it's something I'm looking at. Am I going to be more profitable? Do I have a better profit factor if I tighten up the risk? Maybe not so much negative R, tighten up the risk and give myself room to flip my position, like Zinc has recently introduced into his model. So I've been looking into it for sure. Always looking to improve. This is my problem. I love trading. I'm up 600, but I feel it's still early. I should go for a walk on the beach and manually lock out. Yes, sir. Do it. Do it now. Not financial advice, but I'm telling you, lock yourself out. Go for a walk on the beach. Do it. Do it. Thank me later. Do you have any position right now? I just blew my cover. No. How did you do that? What entry did you take, Mr. Lord? Yeah, no music. I sorted the music out. I was on it. Is this going to be the longest stream? No, I've told you. I'm going to the beach, or I'm going for a walk soon. So no, especially today where the IB. So it's one of those where because price has just exhausted itself so much. We've had a 600-point move in the space of 45 minutes. I wouldn't be surprised now if we just end up chopping in this IB range. Do you want to be sitting in this chop all of Friday morning and all of Friday afternoon on the last day of the month? Do you want to do that? All right, there's only smart answers allowed in the chat. Only smart answers. Do you want to be involved in that for 3-4 hours on a Friday morning and Friday afternoon? Yeah, I think it's obvious. Yeah, read your mind, David just said it. Read your mind, sir. What prop is easier to take payouts in 25K fast? There's loads of different prop firms you can use. Tradeify got some good accounts. Lucid got some good accounts. Top One got some good accounts. Those are sort of the firms I go to. Anyone actually grab the Top Step 25K static? The Top Step Lab, didn't they? They released it. I wonder if anyone grabbed any of those. I was too slow. I don't think they're around anymore, are they? They're just like temporary, I think. Full Port Friday. Come on, no! I'm trying to teach good trading habits here on stream. No. I want to go to bed, Chris. Chris, what time is it for you where you are? Don't tell me it's 10 a.m. or 11 a.m., whatever it is in New York at the moment. Dan, make more content like the story you did the other day. I appreciate it. I'm glad you like the content. If you haven't seen it, guys, on my YouTube, my latest YouTube video, I literally share my full journey from school teacher in Shanghai to now full-time trader in Abu Dhabi. So I share it. I'm literally very transparent and very open with all of it. So if you want to know what a journey looks like to going full-time, to and how I knew it was the right time to go full-time, it's worth a watch for sure. $12:46 a.m. Oh my goodness, Chris, go to bed. Go to bed. You have my permission. Go to bed for sure. Nico, go long all in. Take four. Dan, what's your preferred size for 25K account for a single trade a day? I even whether it's 50K, whether it's 25K, I like to go for the $150 sort of range. That's my ideal risk for the trade. Whether it's 50K or 25K. It does mean I got the 25Ks because in theory, I will reach the profit target quicker than the 50Ks. So it's one of those where I've got 25Ks to scratch an itch while the 50Ks are sort of slowly building in the background. Although they haven't slowly built in the background this month, they're down. I think my prop from the accounts this month, because I'm a red month this month, but it's like 1 day's worth of green with red. So I think my prop from accounts are down like $200, $300, something like that, which is excellent for a month where I've not been on my A game. I'll take that. It's only my top step accounts are a bit more down because Trump on July the 10th screwed me over big style with that slippage. It was huge. So got to build those back up patiently. Dan, can you help me figure out why MGC data doesn't match Top Step's tradable? MGC's 26 contract. Seems to me this is the contract with the most volume for a couple of days now, and it should have rolled. You mean on Top Step X, it hasn't rolled yet? Is it not rolled on top? Are you trading Top Step X? You're gonna have to give me a bit more information there. Is it not showing the latest contract on Top Step X? Is that what you're saying? When you're evaluating trading strategies on edgeful, what is the ideal target win rate and what is the absolute minimum win rate? That's a very good question. And that, I can't answer that. A very good question, I can't answer it because it's all based on personal preference. It's all based on what's more important to you. Are you want someone who prefers to win more, but then when you lose bigger than your losses? Can you stomach that? Like, if you're going to have an 80% win rate, great, looks good on paper. More days you're going to be green than red. But when you take those red days, they are going to be bigger than your green days. More likely, right? You won't meet many traders who have an 80% win rate and a positive risk to reward. You won't meet many over a long time frame. So you're going to have to decide, you're going to have to decide what is important to you. Like, some people don't like trading negative risk to reward because for them, those big red days bring out tilt. They bring out all the negative emotions that causes them to go and mess up their accounts. So you've got to decide what works for you. For me, I like a nice high win rate. And the prop firm sort of rules sort of favor that more. You look at the consistency scores and the instant funded accounts. That's why I like the instant funded accounts, because the consistency score rules I don't care about them because I'm just aiming for base hits every day for my negative. par. So, but will I trade negative R forever though? Who knows? Who knows? I'm constantly looking at the way I trade and constantly looking to evolve what I'm doing. Not that I'm saying it doesn't work, because it has worked for me this year. Absolutely. My stats are amazing this year, but taking plenty of payouts as well, but always looking to optimize, improve. How many micros do you trade on a 50K eval? That depends, Mikey Mike, on the size of the IB. Like today, for example, the IB size, one micro would be absolute max, and even today is just way too much. But when it comes to any other date, it depends on the IB size. Like if the IB size is 400 points, then I may trade one micro. If the IB size is 200 points, I may trade 2 or 3 micros. It depends on the IB size, because I'm aiming to risk a certain dollar amount, right? While some traders, they prefer just to risk the same points amount every single time. So it depends on you and what you prefer, basically. Let's just not end the stream. Love it. I love it. I'm going to take that as a good sign that you've enjoyed the stream. I'm going to take that as a good sign. And I appreciate your calmness and honesty advice. You are very welcome, Andy. You are very welcome. I'm just honestly just trying it's one of those, where I see traders who, and anyone who messages me on X or replies to my posts and stuff like that, I'm always trying to reply to all of you. It takes a lot of time, but I'm always trying to do it. And I just see more and more and more traders who are edgeful. So a lot of you guys in the chat, as well as other guys using edgeful or other guys using the IB24 or IB50 or whatever. And I just see the amount of discipline being shown by traders. Traders posting, A+ didn't show today, closing up the computer, walking away. This sort of discipline I'm seeing from more and more and more traders. For me, I don't know if it's just like the quality of the retail trader I'm seeing on X, for me, just seems to be getting better and better and better. Those people who are associated with edgeful and watching the edgeful streams and using edgeful balls, it's been so good to see so many of you be so disciplined and improving your trading so much. So well done to you guys, yeah. And I'm just trying to get as many traders along that road as possible, because trust me, you will become profitable and you will take payouts. Yeah, it's simpler than you think. Honestly. And that's silly for me to say. So it sounds silly for me to say based on a month where I'm probably going to be red this month, but it is simpler than you think to be profitable and take payouts. Is it easy? No, but it is simple. Take A+ trades. I think it was, I remember reading a Market Wizards book, and it was Michael Marcus. If you don't know who Michael Marcus is, you need to read the Market Wizards book because they're great. And he says is that if you take only A+ setups, so you focus on only taking A+ sets, you're very clear what they are, and you only take those, you're going to find it very hard not to be profitable in any sort of market conditions. And that's a top Market Wizard saying that. So if you can focus on A+ quality setups, you're going to struggle to not be profitable. But it's hard to wait for those A+ setups. And I've been reading the latest Market Wizard book, and there's one guy who says he made most of his money, like 89% of his profits, like millions and millions of dollars from his A+ setups. But he still takes the B+ and the C+ setups. Why is that? Well, because it's like a gamble, it's like an addiction thing. He's got to trade, but it just massively reduces his risk. So those B and C+ setups, they don't mean that much to him because he's not losing as much on them, but it feeds that need to trade. Now, I'm not saying you need to trade every single day, right? I'm not. But that's what he does, and it works for him. Dan, if I'm not mistaken, your trader launch 25K. How do you like it so far? And it's drawdown, it's only 1K. Yeah, trader launch, mine are break even at the moment. They've gone nowhere in July. They've gone like this, because that's the way my month has gone in July. The reason why they're not actually down this month is because they failed to copy trade on one day. Otherwise, they would be down $300-400, I think. But they're about break even this month, my traders launch account. So I'm so glad there's no such thing as monthly fees these days anymore on evals. So yeah, that's where they are. They seem okay at the moment. For me, the idea of having daily payouts times 5 is awesome. Get my $150 base hit on the IB25, take out 155 150 times 5 on the daily payout. Like, it takes patience to get those accounts over the line without blowing money on eval fees. You can come back after your walk on the beach. I'll just get my cat just to come here and just watch the stream for a little bit then while I go for a walk on the beach, if that's all right with you guys. On my way, made my dollar. I actually ended up trading a 700 EMA rejection. It's not a bad handy indicator on days like, yeah, for sure. I know Forex Ike loves the good EMA. What a fantastic negative hour trader he is, and he uses the EMA. So yeah, well done, Chris. Go to bed. Go to bed. See you next week. Dollar target, $150. That's what I'm aiming for. I wish I had you as a teacher in school. You know what? It's quite interesting. Does my teaching sort of aura come across on the stream? It is quite interesting. I have wondered that, or do I just sound like someone who just doesn't shut up? I've always wondered that sometimes. Although I think I didn't shut up in my classroom, to be fair. You know what? I am loving the love, guys. Honestly, I really appreciate it. Like to be completely honest with you, streaming is very, very new to me. It's very, very new to me. I'm very grateful for Edgeful to give me the platform to be able to do it and learn as I go. But yeah, I love doing it, and I love that you guys are loving it as well. Another one here as well from Chris. Cheers, mate. Now get off stream and go to bed, Chris. Yeah, this is it now. How are we breaking above the VWAP? It's one of those where above the VWAP, are we breaking? Are you looking at ES? Yeah, look at ES. Look at ES. I did warn you though, guys, that what could happen is we've had such an exhaustive move. 600 points is no laughing matter going down here. So with that being 600 points, I said to you at the start, do you want to sit in this all day? Yeah, don't say I didn't tell you. A 25K account doesn't mean faster payout. Size matter. Yeah, it's one of those where I'm just thinking based on my fixed risk, right? Which is $150 trade profit every day, base hit. That's what I'm looking for. I'll walk away every day with that. And if I'm getting that, in theory, I should reach one. If I'm copy trading all my accounts, the 50Ks and the 25Ks, which I do, then in theory, I should get to the payout on the 25K, which is $1,250 before the $3,000 profit. But of course, if I increase the risk on the 50Ks, then they would get it. So of course, size matters. But I'm talking from a fixed risk across multiple profit accounts. So sorry if that wasn't clear before. Just looking for these. Oh, cheers, David. Appreciate that. I'd watch you on stream daily. It's a shame I couldn't take a trade today in front of you guys. Would have been nice. Like I like the Friday stream. I love streaming with Zinc on a Tuesday. But Tuesday stats just suck, and I feel like I come on the Tuesday stream and I just lose. So it's nice to be on the Friday stream as well from now on as well. Hopefully catch some nice trades going forward, but shame not today. Yeah, I think you'd appreciate that. Yeah, and you know what? This is the power though of joining streams. Like, I became more profitable as a trader once I watched a trader trade live on stream, see how they think, see them talking out loud. You can watch as many courses as you want. And there's plenty of value in watching courses. And I think you need to watch content to be able to understand the strategy. But then seeing the trader take it live, see them talking out loud, that's where the real learning begins, I think. That's where you really, really see it. And you'll see me use discretion and stuff. You'll see me stay out of trades or enter trades. And it's one of those where I think watching a trader trade live is great, and watching a disciplined trader. And you guys make me a better trader because I have to live up to it, don't I? I can't just go on stream and just tilt and just blow all my accounts. I can't do it. Yeah, I just can't. Like, I'd be the most ridiculous streamer, trader, teacher, person ever if I did that. So yeah, before anyone says, yes, I know the music is gone. There we go. All right. Just wondering, before we finish in the chat, guys, today, how have you done today? Are you green? Are you red? Are you break even? Throw it in the chat. Throw it in the chat. What are you today? Michelle, yes, I'll be live streaming on Tuesdays and Fridays from now on. But next Friday, we'll have James and Andre back on with me. So what are we doing today? How are we doing? How are we doing? Green, green, big red. No. Carl, what happened, Carl? What happened? Break even, good, green. Shorted MES. Oh, Forex Trader Pop, where did you short MES from? Tell me. Where did you short it from? Green, green, green. Oh, lots of green today. Good. Wow. Not bad. On a day where we had that big move lower. Maybe many of you caught the earlier trades in the session. More green than red based on the comments. Fantastic. All right, guys. So 11A. Hold on, before we finish, shorted MES at 50%. So let's have a look. So where are you at? So you're okay. So you're here at the moment. So are you aiming for? So you're in at the 50% right now. Where's your stop at? Where's your profit at? What are you looking at? Forex Trader Pop. Not saying it's a bad entry, but you are pinched between the V-ups, and as I said before, we may get that just like that chop in the middle here. Who knows? Okay, right, guys, we are gonna leave it there. Throw some W's in the chat for the stream today, guys. Let's see those W's in the chat before you go today, guys. Thank you so much for all of you joining on a Friday, turning up, showing up. That's the way you become a better trader, guys, by showing up, putting in the work. Even if you didn't trade today, this is something you can put into your journal, right? Something you can throw in. The huge IB size. What did you see today? What did you learn today? Yeah, but showing up, even when you don't take a trade, is going to improve you as a trader. I promise you. So just showing up on a Friday, listening to the stream, hopefully learning some good disciplines, getting some key insights, it's going to make you guys better in the long term. Little reps like this today add up over time, I promise. Yeah. Cheers, guys. Cheers. Have a good weekend, guys. Rest up, reflect as well, because it's the end of the month. So have a good reflection. Go into August, leaving behind anything negative from July, and go into the August with a fresh mind, fresh mindset, fresh attitude, ready to smash August. But I'll see you guys on stream on Tuesday. The other lads will return to stream on Monday as well. But until then, guys, have a good weekend.